This fish nearly pulled my rod and reel in.
Well, I've only been here a couple of hours and I've already had 3 fish, 4 fish, 3 fish. I can't keep the bloody... Look, I've got 2 rigs out here. I need to tie some more solid bags because I've only got 1 solid bag left to go. Well, out of nowhere, the right-hand rod just ripped off.
That is taking the money so far for the biggest fish out of here all season. Well, the right-hand rod's just gone off again. Same spot out towards that yellow gooseberry bush, and I tell you what, this fish is actually, I wouldn't say it's massive, but it's bigger. Well, would you believe it's May? What is going on with the weather? Talk about April showers. We're over a week into May now. And I mean, it's just terrible, isn't it? Where's the sun? I mean, the back end of April, like the last few days in April was so nice. In fact, what I just want to quickly address is that video in St John's. Wow, what an incredible video. My best ever carp fishing session. It's probably my best ever session I've ever done, ever in my life. It was crazy. I don't know what happened. Someone was looking down on me that day. The fish were in front of me. But, you know, I still had to catch them. And the first time I was fishing zigs, unbelievable. It really, really was. I mean, to catch a 43.5-pound catfish on 10-pound zig line with a size 8 hook is absolutely insane. I cannot believe what happened. It was a hell of a session. And I'm drawing it back in a little bit now because I'm actually fishing at the Doorstep lake. I'm with Jordan, he's on my right. It's quite busy actually. I think there's only, now we're both here, there's probably only 1 swim available right at the front, right at the top. But yeah, I'm just solid bagging out to the far bank. My right hand rod, OG fruit and nut, left hand rod, OG fish, both wafters in the solid bags with the OG mini mix. And obviously the right hand one's got a bit of fruit and nut, flat spotting, and the left hand rod's got a bit of the fish flat spotting. So, can we catch a couple of carp? I'm excited to find out. Although what I would say is now, and I don't want to be Bobby Big whatever, but there's not actually a fish in this lake now that would beat my PB, which is insane for me to even say that. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to fish it. I mean, I still like catching carp, no matter what the size. Let's just hope we can get a couple. Well, out of nowhere, the right-hand rod just ripped off. I've got a little common. It's nothing big, but beautiful common. Very happy with that. It's a start and it's a blank saver. I'm not going to weigh it. Not worth it. Probably 4 or 5 pound. Might go 6. Probably not. But yeah, I forgot my tripod, but I'll try and hold it up quickly and then we'll get him back. And there we go, the first fish of the session, off to a start. And it's a nice little start. It's not a 28 pounder or a 23 pounder. There are some in here though, to be fair. Not 28s, but I think there's some 23s in there. But yeah, I mean, it's a good little start, isn't it? I'm probably thinking I should back lead because that one went right under my line. Actually, in fact, I used it quite well because it was my right hand rod and I thought it was going to go through the other line, but it actually went underneath it. So I managed to play it all right, but I might put some back leads on. I think I'm all right for the moment. But yeah, what I might do is, I haven't brought any food with me today, which is disgusting from me. So when I go to the shop, I'm going to get my tripod, which is actually in my car. So it's not ideal for filming things, but it is what it is. I've left it in the car. It's raining. I'm not going to go back to the car now. I'm fishing. Yeah, it's just my fault that I forgot it. I'll make do until I need to go and get some food and then I'll get the tripod. Right, so I just wanted to quickly go through my solid bags, guys. I used the other bags are available, the Corda solids, and I used the small. As it's warming up now, I might switch on to the mediums because it just gives the fish a bit more bait. But I find the smalls, you can compact them right down and I find them easy to cast.
But basically what I do is, this is the mini mix, the OG mini mix. There's a couple of fruit and nut pellets in there. You can see the bigger ones, look, the bigger pellets are from the fruit and nut range. But yeah, Parker Baits OG mini mix pellets. And what I do is I put my rig, well, basically I get a bag and I scoop up the mini mix pellets and put a layer in up to about here. And then I go in with the magic dust. This time it's fruit and nut. Sometimes it's OG fish, depends how I want to fish. And I put that in there, and then what I do is I bang it down so it sort of goes down the layers and gets in between all the pellets. Then I put another scoop of pellet in, and then what I do is I slide my finger down the side of the bag and I put my hook bait in here. So here you've got a fruit and nut wafter, and here you've got a OG fish wafter, and I slide it in there so it's halfway down. Then I put my lead on the other side of the bag so that when it goes down to the bottom, lead comes down to the bottom, then you've got the big bed of bait, and then my hook bait's exposed on top. That's the theory behind that. Anyway, then once that's in, I put the lead in one side, put more scoop of that in, and then I just tie it up nice and tight, and obviously fold the edges in so it's easy to cast. I always stab it before it goes out because you don't want any air pockets moving it off the spot or making it sit not right. So I always stab it with scissors or a bait and needle, just to make sure there's some escape holes for any trapped air. And then I cannot send out a solid bag without either the fruity flat spot, or this is the original flat spot. Yeah, I have to inject some of that in there before it goes out. And what that does is, see all that magic dust that goes in there, it makes it all sticky and it sticks to the pellets, and then obviously when it dissolves, it comes up through the water column. The magic dust comes up through the water column. If you sent that out without any liquid in it, it would still work, but that magic dust would just go. Like, it would come up through the water column, but it wouldn't hover. Like when you get it, put a bit of flat spot over it, it will just hover slowly up through the water column. Say if you didn't put it in there, it would just go. But yeah, there you go. That is my solid bag. I better get some more tied up because I've only got 2 tied up at the moment, which is not ideal. And I am with Jordan today. If he does catch a fish, I'll go and show you his fish. But basically, last time we came here, he was fishing this swim and he caught all the fish and I blanked. So I'm wondering, you know, I've already had a fish in this swim. We sort of said, because we feel like this is the best swim on the lake. And so, because it's produced fish, from experience, it's produced fish. So what we're saying is every time we come down here, we're going to take it in turns. He was in it the first time, I'm in it this time. And then obviously next time it'll be him, then me, vice versa. But yeah, wager's still on. I think, what did we say? 10, 20 pound, did we say? For the biggest fish in here throughout the whole season. I can't remember how much it was. I'll have to check back on that. But yeah, there we go. I say I'll go and show Jordan on the video if he does catch a fish. If he doesn't, he'll be moaning that he wants this swim next time. Whilst I'm here, I'm just going to quickly go through the the rig arrangement with you. So I'm using a 2.5 ounce quarter flat pair lead, and this has got a Gemini boom in it, a Gemini system. But you know what? So I can't decide whether I prefer the quarter lead with a Gemini system or the Avid lead with the Avid stems. I like them both, and I've got a mixture of both. But at the moment, today, I'm using these 2.5 ounce leads. I mean, in this lake it's quite silty. I wouldn't mind going down to a 2 ounce lead. But yeah, that I wouldn't go any lower than a 2 ounce lead because you need that weight for the hook hold. We got a little 4-inch. In fact, it might be less than 4-inch. I thought it was 4-inch, but these are ready tied rigs. They're Nash rigs, PVA rigs. So they got a Nash claw hook on there. They are barbed. Don't know if you can quite pick that up on the camera. It's a very micro barb. Can you see it on the camera? Not really. They are micro barb. Wait, let me just double check they are. Yeah, they are. Definitely. So you can't... Quality bit of film in there. You can't pick that up, can you, on the camera? That's mental. They are micro barbed. I need to find a white background. Wait there. I just want to make my point. Do you know what I mean? Don't want anyone in the comments going, oh, you said they were micro barbed. They're not. You can kind of see it there, look. Very, very small micro barb. But yeah, it's enough. And it's one of the claw hooks, and it's down to obviously a hair rig, and that's where I put the wafter on. So there you go. That's the rig. No leader. Just, I don't feel like you need it. Oh, I've got a little anti-tangle sleeve, a micro anti-tangle sleeve on there as well.
So if you noticed, there was basically what happened was me and Jordan went to Willowbank to film the next episode for the Hunt for Big Red, and then, which I will talk about in a minute because there's a big update on that. But then after that I did a catfish session with the family, and then the session after that was a St John's one, and it was a little bit like the upload schedule was a little bit weird because it went a bit off. What happened was everybody that I went catfishing with in the family catfish session, everybody was like, when's the video out, when's the video out, when's the video out? And obviously I've got a schedule, like I order my videos, so like I've got a few filmed in advance. For example, this video here is middle of May. It probably won't come out to the end of May, start of June sort of time, because I've got videos waiting to go, sort of scheduled, you know. And so there was a lot of pressure about everyone was get the catfish video out. So I was like, okay, I'll move that forward one, and then I'll do the episode of the Willowbank, the Hunt for Big Red, and then St John's. Then I had that session at St John's, and everyone was like, you have to get that video out. The Parker Brothers video is coming out on this day, and so's Fishing with Jay's video. And I was like, you know what, I'd love to be able to get it out at the same time, but I just can't. Like, I've got videos that need to go up. So yeah, so that basically what it did was it changed my schedule of all my videos. So I ended up putting the catfish video out first. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. Then the St John's video, and then the Willowbank video. So the Willowbank video was actually the first session that I went on out of those 3 trips, but it was the last one I uploaded. So yeah, that was a little bit a little bit off. But yeah, big update on Big Red as well is it actually came out, it come out at 28.2, I think it came out at, or did it come out at 28.8? Something like that, 28, over 28, but it didn't come out at £30, which I was shocked because I was adamant that it would come out at £30. But what I would say is it was I knew it was due out. I knew it was going to come out. We were there 3 days before it came out. It got caught 3 days after we left, and we actually cut that session short because we weren't feeling very well, which I'm actually gutted about now. But yeah, I'm going to go back in. I'm very happy for whoever caught it. I think it was a young lad called Cody, and in fact, I'm actually very happy that it was a very young angler that caught it, because what a hell of a fish to catch. At that age, unbelievable, and I'm sure that that young angler is going to go on to catch many a bigger fish. But yeah, I was so sure that it was coming out, and that's why I booked that trip on those dates, and it was 3 days later. But it has come out also in June quite a few times. April the most, and then in June. So I'm going to get a session booked back up in June, and I'm going to head down there for another episode, and hopefully we can have him out in June. Well, the right hand rod's just gone off again. Same spot out towards that yellow gooseberry bush, and I tell you what, this fish is actually, I wouldn't say it's massive, but it's bigger. Again, a solid bag with the OG fruit and nut wafter. Very nice looking fish, and number 2 of the session. Let's see if we can get him in. Jordan's here now, so he's my tripod. That's a better looking fish. It shot straight in the lilies. As soon as I hooked it, it just went, took so much line and went straight in the lilies. It's a nice looking comment, and it looks like a mid-double. Get in, come on the Parker baits. Lovely, that's exactly where the last one went. Very good accuracy, my boy. Here she is then, £14.4. I thought it might have gone a little bit bigger, but there you go, look at that. That is taking the money so far for the biggest fish out of here all season, out of us two. But there we go. Beautiful little common. Right hand rod again. Come on the Parker baits. And there we go, 2 fish off the right hand rod, which is out towards, I haven't actually shown you, which is out towards that gooseberry bush over there, the yellow one. Well, I say bush, it's hardly a bush, it's more like a bloody, there's not a lot coming up there. But yeah, that's my right hand rod there, and then my left hand rod is under these trees here. Now I know it looks a little bit like it's sort of like out of my water, but it's not, because the way this lake is, I've actually got to that white post over there and that white post there, because last time I fished there I was in the island swim to my left, and you're not allowed to fish past the island. You only basically get up to the island and everything to the left of it, because obviously if you hook something up over the other side of the island, it just do you around the back of the island. So
my water's from there to there. So I've got my rod in there and there. And there's a lot of fish showing around the back of the island, but obviously I can't get around there. But I don't mind. 2 fish. Happy days. And there was me saying I ain't got no food or drink with me today. Jordan's bought me a Pepsi Max. He actually bought me a Diet Coke, but I traded it for a Pepsi Max. And, they're probably not going to fill me up, but some Teddy faces. It looks red. Why is there a lot of red? A lot of fat. 4.4 grams of fat. Is that a lot? What that does mean is it's going to taste nice. Fish number 3. Oh my God. This fish nearly pulled my rod and reel in. Literally, it just like, the drag was set loose, obviously, the line was coming off the spool, but I didn't have it just went so quick, and the rod just went, and it nearly went in. I was very lucky, and then the fish went straight into the snags, so I had to hold it there for 5 minutes, but I managed to get it free, and I haven't seen it yet. But from what happened, I think it's a big fish, but then it seems to be coming in quite easily, so it's very hard to tell what's going on here, but I can't wait to see it. Lots of drama. And it's fish number 3. Okay, fish number 3 is in the net. And you know I was talking to you about my rigs and the Gemini and the Corda leads. Well, this is the Avid setup that I was also talking about. So this is obviously, this bit's stiff here. This sort of like this stem is like a stiff stem. And you come onto the sort of flat, it's not like a pear, I don't know what it is. It's like a flat, there must be a word for it. But yeah, it's like a groove lead. And you've got the anti-tangle sleeve, but same rig, and obviously that's the fruit and nut wafter again from Parker Baits. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of difference between the Gemini and the Corda and the Avid setup, but there you go. They're both working at the moment. Happy days. Well, here we go. First mirror, beautiful golden colours, and we're not going to weigh this one, but ooh, she's a feisty one. Would you give me maybe double for that one? Might be just under, but it's there or thereabouts. And that is fish number 3. And that again is on the fruit and nut wafter. Come on.
Get her back in.
And there she goes. I don't need the sling for this one. Just drop her in there. And off she goes. Well, I've only been here a couple of hours and I've already had 3 fish? 4 fish? 3 fish. I can't keep the bloody... Look, I've got 2 rigs out here. I need to tie some more solid bags. I've only got 1 solid bag left to go. I can't keep up with it. It's brilliant. Just going to touch on it quick. These are solid bags that I've caught fish on this morning. The first 2 rigs that I've caught on. Like I said, the difference with the Avid and the Gemini. But they're both working. And they're both the same. The actual hook part of the rigs are exactly the same. But what I like to do is, once I've caught, I'll tie on a new bag, and then this is like the old bags, the 2 that I've caught, the old bags, you know what I'm saying? But basically what's happened is, I'm going to retie them on the bank right now, because I've only got 1 left made up, so that'll be the next one to go out. But whilst these are here, always make sure that they're properly dried out. I know it sounds stupid, but even the braid can hold water in it, so just make sure you run your finger and thumb down there, get all the moisture out of it. The lead, again, like all the little grooves where it says like the grams in there and stuff like that, just get in there, make sure it's all dry. And I'm just about to tie that up and that's ready to go out again. Always change your hook baits. I always put a fresh hook bait on. That is another fruit and nut wafter, because that is the one that's doing the do. And just check your rig as well. Check your hook's still sharp. Make sure you've still got a bit of a curve in the tongue, in the sort of, what do they call them? The little rubber bit. Make sure there's still a curve in there. Actually, that needs adjusting, but I'll sort that out. And then tie your bag up and go again. Lovely. I'm not joking when I say this, but I genuinely nearly lost my rod and my reel. I'm not just saying it to make it sound like it was a big fish, because it wasn't. Like I say, it was scraping a double, but the take was so violent, it just went, it was almost like even before the alarm went off, the rod was getting dragged in. Now, what I would say with these new reels are the new Fox EOS 10,000s, new to me. I've obviously got the 12,000 bait runner big pits as well, so that's why I wanted to go with the Fox reels again, because they're so good. I thought these ones would be so good. And even with the bait runner on the drag system, you can do it all the way as loose as possible, and it's still not as loose as the big pit ones. So I like a really loose drag, obviously depending on the situation. If I'm fishing
against snags and stuff, I'll have it a bit tighter, but the trouble is you then run the risk of your rod going in. So what I do need to do is invest in some rod butts, because at the moment I've literally just got ones that's just, they don't hold your rod, your rod just sits on top of them. So I'm going to invest on some rod butts that hold your rod in, so that doesn't happen. But I think the people to my left have gone. They have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dash my left hand rod out towards where the showing fish are around the back of that island. It's a risky move, but I'm hoping it's worth it. Right hand rod again is in. Number 4 is in a net. Another low double. Common. Right hand rod again. Like I said, out towards that yellow bush. Fruiting up after again. The rain is coming down. I will deal with that fish in a second. Richard's just turned up, which is my uncle Jordan's dad. He's got a brolly, so he's going to come over under the brolly and get some photos and that. And we'll get it in the sling. I won't weigh it up. But again, another one. I mean, he's made a mess of my rig. That's a bit tangled. Oh, and the kicker's come off the hook. I need to sort that rig out, but there we go. I've got some more bags tied up. That one's waiting to be tied up. So I've got a couple in there. I can slip one of them on. So important to make sure that stays dry in there, guys, honestly. But yeah, the weather is absolutely atrocious today. It's shocking, awful, and it's definitely putting a damper on things. But I'm so glad the fishing's good, because if it wasn't, it would be a very, very dark day today. Oh, nearly give me a slap round the chops then. So here's number 4. It's been in a retention sling, so it's got a bit of its breath back, just whilst we was waiting to get photos and stuff with it. Oh my gosh. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll get some photos with it, guys, and then I'll get it straight back, because I think it's raring to go. Okay, so I've got number 5 in the net. We're not going to weigh this one because it's not so big, this one. A little bit of a cricket bat. But they're all welcome, big or small, we love them all. In fact, I'm just going to put this one back in the net, to be honest. So yeah, number 5. There she goes. Lovely. Well, we'll get another solid bag on and we'll get it back out again. Fruit and nut seems to be the one working today. But there we go. Absolutely brilliant. Fish number 5. Same rod, same spot, same bait. Let's get it. I was meant to go like that then. I don't know why I went like that. I missed the finger and thumb. Now, I don't want to get too carried away, and I don't want to, like, I'm enjoying catching these fish, of course I am. But there are 20 plus in here. So, I mean, as much as I'm enjoying catching these mid doubles, low doubles, be nice if I could get one that's sort of edging towards that 20-pound mark, if not just pushing slightly over. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you can't choose the fish, can you? You just put your rods out and your bait out and your tactics, and hopefully one of the bigger ones comes and picks it up. By the way, it stopped raining now, and this has been a real test for the helicopter, which is standing on its own. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it really is doing a good job. Now, I know shearwater was a test for it, but I was under a tree. Here, it has been absolutely slashing it down all day, and it's not under a tree. Fantastic. Awesome. Love the helicopter. And Billy, you're doing your job. Everything is going well. Well, I've got about an hour to go before I end this video. It is still only early, but we're wet and that, and I think, again, Jordan's just sort of like on a blank and that. I know what it's like, because when I was fishing here last time and I was on a blank, I sort of felt a bit sort of like meh. But yeah, it is what it is. I've had 5 fish. I'm very happy with that. Hopefully I can nick one more. But what I would say is I just want to touch on a couple of things, guys. Like, just etiquette. Like, please, 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 anybody that's watching my videos or follows me, I want this community to be a good community and that. And I'm going to sound like a bit of an old man now, but please, please, please take your rubbish home, because the amount of times I've turned up to lakes and people just left stuff everywhere. Line, hooks, but even more than that, like this morning when I came here, there was like beer cans everywhere and crisp packets and stuff, and it's just like, there's bins on site.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I always bring a bag with me, and I'll put my stuff in the bag and take it home with me. But if there's, like, here, for example, use the bins. It's really not hard. Just a little bit of etiquette on the bank. And also when you come to venues like this, I mean, I haven't had any trouble today, but I think a couple of other people have. If you go to a lake and there's boundaries to fish towards, I mean, they're clearly marked out here. You've got a post there and a post there. That's your swim. Fish within those boundaries. Fish within your lines, because you shouldn't be coming down to a lake and somebody cast over your swim or into your area. There's no need for it, because people then start get arsey, and people come fishing for a break, to get away, to relax, to enjoy themselves, to catch a few fish. The last thing you need is to be getting in arguments with people over silly little things like that. I mean, we're all here for the same reason. If you can't get in the swim that you want to get in, it is what it is. It's fair game, isn't it? Whoever's here first is here first. It's just, there's no need for any sort of like arguments or anything like that. And just a bit of etiquette. Keep your swims nice and tidy, and keep the lakes nice and clean. Well, Jordan come over to the swim to talk to me, saying that he hadn't had a bite all day. Then he gets on his old receiver. So I've got my receiver with me now. I'll come down if you need me to, but my rods are still in, so I want to be able to get to my rods if I can. And look, it's nearly pulled his rod in. Look at his front bank sticks, look, his bite alarm's twisted. So that's what happened to mine. I'll go and reel the rods in, and then I'll come round and see you. Here it is then, a little blank saver for Jordan. Look, he's even put his back fin up for you. Yeah, it's probably £3 or £4. That'll do. Happy days. It'll give you a bit of a run, doesn't it? So yeah. There she is. Very clean looking one. And like I say, blank saver. Happy days. Hey, there we go. Like I said, big or small, we love them all. I've just put the rods back out. I reeled them in, but then obviously, like, I didn't put a new solid bag on it, because they're only going to be out for another 20 minutes, half an hour. So I've just chucked them back out, and they're both on the spots where I've been fishing. So I know there's bait down there, but hopefully they're, with a solid bag, you know your bait's obviously on the bait, but they're there or thereabouts. But like I say, out for another sort of 20 minutes, half an hour. I'm going to start packing away, get my stuff set down. And as I say to you guys, leave the rods till lastminute.com, because you might catch, like you saw in the Willowbank video, you might catch a last minute carp. Well, here we are, all packed away, and that is the end of the session. Billy needs to go through the washing machine again. He's been through it about 3 or 4 times now, so he's pretty used to it. I'm wondering, I'm hoping, I'm praying that one day he doesn't, like, you know what it's like, the stitching starts I don't want to say it. He's going to be fine. He's going to be absolutely fine. Touch wood. Anyway, that is the end of my session. Yeah, I've had a brilliant session, let's be honest. 5 fish. I think Jordan was speaking to somebody down on the first peg up there, and they've done a night and not had anything. So I'm guessing, again, I'm just in the right area for the fish. My watercraft is getting better. But next time we come here, Jordan's going to have this swim, because that's how we're going to work it. This swim seems to be the best swim. Obviously, it's not always true, because if the fish move and they're up that end of the water, then obviously it's better to go up there. But as we're learning, this seems to be a good swim. But yeah, anyway, 5 fish. Very happy with that. Pretty much all doubles, low doubles. But yeah, there we go. As always, guys, please go down, leave a comment if you fancy leaving a comment. If you don't, no worries, but make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Thanks for watching this one. I'll see you in the next one next Sunday at 5. Bish, bash, bosh.